more than 90% people are financially insecure.
Can you explain a little bit about the investment side and all that?
Understand about your money. Learn how RRSP works, how all the financial concepts works.
The system of this country is so good, we should be here.
An average North American pays about 34.9% taxes in their lifetime. That's even more than $1.4 million. That's a lot of money in paying taxes.
What do you mean by financial literacy? Don't you think these banks are providing financial literacy?
The banks or the traditional industry are not able to meet the requirement. You want to work here for like 30, 40 years and you want to retire broke? The problem is from a kid's childhood, I would say.
Nobody ever got the financial literacy in the school system. They grind you, study hard.
Because our education system is so good to produce an employee. We need more leaders. We have enough followers. Because most people believe, move to Canada, get a job, get a home, get a car, pay the bills, live, retire, and then that's it. People do not know how to read their own paychecks.
Welcome all. I'm happy to announce that I'm launching a podcast for everybody, and the name of the podcast is Top 1%. My vision for this podcast is to bring people from different walks of life, different professions, all successful people, just to help every Canadian out there. And our first host of the podcast is Sunil Poulose. He is a very successful person in the financial industry. And in a way, I learned everything from this person. And the reason, whatever I am today and the success and everything, it's because the things that I learned from this person and I implemented in my life. Let's welcome Sunil Poulose. So, Sunil, I know that you're an immigrant and you have been in this country for almost 14, 15 years.
Yeah, about that.
So if I have to ask you, can you describe yourself in one word? What would you say?
Yeah, that'll be tough and easy. I would say I call myself a teacher, and I probably say I teach finance. That's my specialty. That's where I come from.
So teach finance to the kids, or
I teach finance to everybody. I prefer kids, by the way.
but you teach finances to everybody,
Everybody,
adults?
yeah,
Everybody.
everybody.
So, I mean, this is for just the viewers, but I know what he does. So, Sunil, why financial industry?
See, when you think about financial industry as a whole, every single person on this planet Earth, they all work for money and finance. Because people put together 15, 20 years of their life to learn some skill, to produce money, and then a lot of people out there that they become as slaves of money because they do not know how to keep or save their money. And financial, if you don't understand money, Venu, technically you will work for money forever. But if you learn and understand money, the money will work for you. And I want to teach this concept everybody out there, whoever I can. See, I won't be able to help everybody out there, but being a teacher, if I can help that handful of people, that makes a huge difference.
So,
That is why I choose financial services. Because, see, one another reason I wanted to add this point here. See, think about Venu. Most of the problems out there in families, in countries, it's all caused by some way or another way finance is involved. But if you can fix that root cause, you can solve a lot of problem out there. Now, financial industry is huge. Now, if you ask me to say the reason, I probably take the entire podcast to your time for it.
I know I have attended, a few of your meetings, and then I know you can talk for hours and hours when it comes to money. And I know for sure, so that you help people in two different areas. One is, I think fixing finances, and the other one is building business in the financial industry. So, what is your vision? And like, can you elaborate a little bit about your brokerage and what is your vision for next, few years, so that my viewers can understand.
Venu, financial industry is one of the largest industry in the world, and like we generally go to Google for everything, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you search today, everybody's looking for business opportunity at the moment, correct?
100%.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And now most people, they don't know which industry to choose. They're confused. Some things healthcare industry is the best. Some things hospitality industry is the best. Some things IT industry is the best. But if you actually think about it, which industry that you got a sure shot to be successful, that is financial industry. Now if you go out there and search in Google which industry produces the most millionaires out there, it will tell you financial services. And financial services industry is the largest out there. And you see 400 million people in North America at the moment. 400 million people, including Canadian population and US population combined. Out of that, I would say more than 90% people are financially insecure when it comes to their money, when it comes to their savings. Only few percentage of the people who understand money, who knows how to save money, who knows how to grow money, who knows how to protect their money. And the other thing here, if you look around, now the financial service industry needs professionals. Now these professionals need to help them properly, thoroughly, to grow these families' net worth, to teach them about money and finance. Now, the other problem here, same time, these professionals cannot handle more than 100 families. That's the limitations. Because these professionals have to grow their families and they have to be with them for the rest of their life. They have to guide them, connect them, and all that. There is a study, and study by a doctor. His name is Dr. Dunbar, and he did a study in the past and said that one human being can only maintain maximum 100 meaningful connections in his lifetime. Now I need to apply that directly into finance world, because being a financial professional, I have to advise or connect with my clients for the rest of my life. So I cannot handle more than 100. Now let's put into numbers perspective. Now we got 400 million people, if you remember what I
No, I
said
think
earlier.
close to 400.
Correct. 400, like, yeah, 400 million people close. Now, if I divide this 400 million people by 100, which is the number, max number that can somebody can serve, that will bring down about 4 million professionals. We need it in the industry at the moment. 4 million professionals. That's kind of massive need. Now, as a professional, now I understood the need. Now, I'm here to transfer my skills, whatever I have learned, to as many people as possible.
Isn't it real estate is top industry that which produces most millionaires out there?
See, it's like there is two things out there, when you think about it. Now, a lot of people think that real estate is the biggest industry out there. Some things retail industry is the biggest out there. But actually, financial industry is bigger than if you put together the retail industry and real estate industry together.
I've seen in the Google, which you said, and it says the most uh, industry which produces a millionaire, it's financial industry.
Yeah.
But for majority of the people out there, they think real estate or retail or food industry. So it's a financial industry.
Now, if you think about it, see the most valuable industries out there in the world, they are distribution outlets. Whatever that you distribute efficiently, effectively, systematically, those industries will grow.
So you can create that distribution in the financial industry.
That's right. So, we know the need is there. People need financial service, financial education. But we need to reach every single household systematically. Now, if you can serve that need, that you can serve that systematically, you can get that financial services, financial help, that support and education systematically to reach every single household. That's what I said earlier. We need 4 million professionals.
So
And
you are helping common people that who is looking for a business opportunity to build their business in the financial industry.
that's right. Like you see, have you ever thought of what McDonald's owners are doing out there? They're actually building a distribution. I don't see a McDonald's owner out there. He's passionate about selling burger. Have you?
I don't, yeah, not
Right?
me, yeah.
Nobody. No McDonald's owner out there actually passionate about selling burgers, because they're actually building a distribution outlet of fast food, right? But in order to own a franchisee like that, it costs millions of dollars. And who got that?
And to set up system like McDonald's, you need billions.
Right. You need, I would say, in Canada, you need like close to $2 million to set up a franchisee like that.
That is just for franchising.
Just for
But
franchisee.
to set up a business like McDonald's, like overall, the brand like McDonald's, somebody has to do it from the scratch.
Yeah,
Then it's billions.
yeah, you need like billions of dollars. But now you are getting an opportunity to build a franchisee, a system just like that in financial services. See, have you ever thought about an opportunity, like if you get an opportunity to open a franchisee of a bank, will you take it?
I would. I love.
Because,
Who wouldn't love?
right, because every single land developers out there, they need a tenant, a banker, because he knows anybody can fail the rent, but the banker won't fail the rent.
True. And the first tenant is bank.
Bank.
If you
Every
look at,
every single corner, every single community that you see, you will see a bank out there.
yeah, the usual generally it's the first tenant out of in that commercial plaza.
Exactly, because land developer, when they lease out their land, this is what they think. Hey, you know what? I need a tenant who never fails the rent. They look for those guys. I was talking to a land developer the other day, and he was like, you know what, Sunil, I got this project, it's $200 million and all that. He said, one pack, I'm looking for a superstore or Walmart. And I was like, yeah, I was just thinking back of my mind, man, he's looking for somebody who's not going to fail the rent. Now think about like that. You can actually, in financial services, you can actually build a distribution outlet physically or virtually in financial services. And then you can help many families out there.
So that is, you know, so two things. One, you help clients, and the other one is you help people build a business. So let me ask you this question: but how much it cost? Because every time I talk to you, and every time I see you talking to somebody, your your conviction and you believe in this business like 100%, right? What makes you believe so? So that, I mean, anybody can build a business without even investment, because that's one thing that you always tell, this opportunity is for a common person without any investment.
Right.
So can you explain a little bit about the investment side and all that? And I know that you have almost um, 14 outlets all over Canada and US, in the financial industry. So how this thing works?
So see, like um, when you think about stepping into financial services, it is not the first and foremost thing that you need in financial services. You need to follow the guidelines, the rules, the system, because it's a super regulated industry. The first and foremost thing that is required by the government, then you need to get a license, and it is highly regulated. And you can actually get into financial services to learn or step into the industry probably about 500 or $1,000. You can get yourself licensed, and then you can step into the financial services industry. Now the thing here, the industry is more like, the financial service industry is more like, the requirement is your value, the credibility that you bring, the responsibility that you bring. That is what is going to help you to grow your business. Because a common person, see, this industry do not require which walks of life that you come from. We do not care what's your education qualifications. We do not care what is your um, personality, or whether you have any type of skill you hold. We don't worry about any of that. What we worry about, are you an honest individual? We worry about, are you someone who treats the other side of the table like your own family? We care that someone who is actually look the other family like your own family. That is what we care the most, because this industry, doesn't require conviction. This industry require these days honest individual.
So,
I would say common people have that quality. Because common people have that quality, that's why they work hard, they make money, and they do all the things as possible. They are the right candidates for financial services.
so other than you were talking about the license, $500 investment in Canada, just to register a business, it cost about $550
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to incorporate.
right.
And you're telling me that somebody can get license, or somebody can start this business with $500. Isn't it too good to be true?
See, I personally tell you, Venu, I would say the investment should be around $500,000 to get started.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you say $500, some people, like, what, they don't take it seriously. Like, personally, me, when I first started, I was like, man, this is something that I can take it as a career, because I'm coming from a background where I don't have a financial background. I don't have a financial knowledge or anything, because when I first started, I didn't really understand about what is RRSPs. And then when people was talking about US financial system, I didn't have any clue about what is their services are. But then eventually I realized the services are super systematic here. Anybody can learn, anybody can understand, and it's so simple. That's why people don't take any effort to learn that. Because of that reason, people lose millions of dollars. See, I'll tell you about another statistics here, Venu. An average North American pays about 34.9% taxes in their lifetime. Now do a math. Someone is making $100,000, 40 years, he makes about $4 million in his lifetime. Now, if I calculate 34.9% out of it, that's even more than $1.4 million. That's a lot of money in paying taxes.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the video, um, on, I think, Instagram, and there's this guy. Um, it's a video about, why should somebody come to Canada, right? And he says, um, we should come to Canada because the tax system is so good in this country. You pay income tax, you pay sales tax, GST, and all that, and you pay carbon tax, you pay
This provincial tax.
all different sort of taxes, and at the end, whatever is left, and if somebody's smart enough to build wealth out of the leftover money, and then you pay capital gain taxes.
Right.
So the so the tax system of this country is so good, we should be here. And yeah, I mean, I don't doubt on this. So you're telling me that somebody can build a business in the financial industry just by helping others
That's
in
right.
terms of finances.
That's right.
And another thing, Sunil, what I have noticed from, you always big on financial literacy. So what do you mean by financial literacy? And the first thing I asked one word, and you said you teach finances. So why you're so much into financial literacy?
Venu, I moved to this place when I was 26 years old. Okay. And the first time I got the opportunity to learn about money and finance when I was about 28 or 29. That's when I got this opportunity. I wish if I got this opportunity when I was 20 or 15, and if I got an opportunity to learn about all this concept in younger age, my position would have been different right now. But you see, I didn't get that opportunity. And I believe majority of the people, maybe more than 90% people, do not have that opportunity to to learn about financial literacy. Now, how many people out there knows what is rule of 72? How many people out there knows about tax effect, which I just mentioned earlier? Like how much tax you're paying at the end of the day. And how many people out there know how to protect their money? Because people are losing money in real estate, people are losing money in the stock market and all that. Now, people have no clue about what's going on at the moment because they don't really look at when I sit down and ask people about what is the rate of return that you're getting on your investment, like your RSP. Maybe they're contributing only $100, but $100 nobody's giving them for free. They really work hard for it. Now, for that $100, they're not getting the actual value what they're supposed to get, and they don't know that. That is the disaster actually.
So, but why? Everybody has access to the banks. Everybody has accounts. So don't you think these banks are providing financial literacy?
I would say, you know what, I wish, and some people are actually doing it. But the traditional industry are right now, they are not able to cop up the demand. The amount of people out there needs financial literacy. The banks or the traditional industry are not able to meet the requirement. Because you remember I was talking earlier that one licensed professional in financial services can actually handle about 100 families or clients in his lifetime. Now, when I bring that number to a traditional industry, an average banker they handle over or close to 1,000 clients. Now, do you think that he can maintain the quality? Most of the clients, when they go back to the bank, the service that received, you don't see that guy again. Most of the time, because either they switch the banks, or maybe they switch the position, or they're not there in the job anymore.
That's true. I mean, yes, sometimes you have your regular go-to financial advisor at the bank, but majority of the times you don't get to see that person
Exactly.
again,
And
or
then the another thing here, Venu, if you think about it, they really this traditional industry bankers they really want to help people, but they don't have time, and they're under pressure because they're not able to even if they want to help people, they're not able to. That is a reality out there, and the systematic pressure is also there, like upselling pressure, like locking the money towards GIC's pressure. All that thing is there, like selling credit card pressure is there. So banks are turned into a system where they're only focused on lending.
so you mean transactional.
Transactional, yeah, current transactional approach. Like if you ask something, they'll tell you. If you don't ask, they won't tell you. I'll give you an example here. Now, you all know in Canada here, everybody knows about RSP, correct?
Yes.
Most people do. I mean, when I first moved, I didn't have any clue about what is RSP is. Actually, RSP means Registered Retirement Savings Plan. Now, most of the time when you go to a traditional institutions, people say, hey, you contribute money towards RRSP, so you pay less tax in your retirement. You probably heard that advice also in
Yeah,
your
I
past.
mean that's the common sentence that
Common
everybody.
sentence. Like this is like I call it a cookie cutter advice
Yeah,
that
that's
everybody gets the same.
everybody gets the same cookie. So you
Correct.
put money into RRSP and you pay less taxes at the
Right, right.
retirement,
That's right.
and that's what the government is telling, right?
Of course. Now here, if you see, if you look at that statement deeply, what does it say is that the people who pays less tax, mostly low income families. Now somebody tell you contribute money towards RRSP, then you pay less tax in your retirement. That means he's predicting your future that you will be low income. Means in professionally they're telling you low income, but in reality he's telling you, man, you will be broke for sure. And the person who is listening, he'll be happy about it. He's like, oh, I pay less tax. And I asked someone about the same question, Venu. I tell him like this, hey, bro, you work in this country for you want to work here for like 30, 40 years, and you want to retire broke?
So the question should be, how do you want to retire?
Exactly. Like, I mean, how can somebody tell you that how will your retirement look like? Whether it is low income or high income, how can somebody predict?
Yeah,
There is
so
nobody can predict, but how can they predict it clearly? Because they know 90% people are depending on the government benefits after retiring because they are not building any net worth.
instead, if a somebody who does their job right, they should ask, how do you want to retire?
Exactly how much money you want to see in your retirement account.
Then suggest if the registered retirement savings plan is good for them or not.
Correct. It can be good, it can be bad. It can be good for some people, it can be bad for some people. RSP can be good for 1 year, RSP can be bad for the next year. So this is something, it is like an ingredient that you just need to use it, depends on the situation to situation. Because if your income is high that year, you can put into RSP. If your income is low, then you should not. But mostly, everybody's like, I should contribute it by default. Whether my income is high or low, it doesn't matter. I contribute. And nobody's out there to guide them properly. Hey, when to contribute, when not to contribute. So, what we are trying to do here, Venu, we are empowering families. We are empowering families. We are telling them, hey, educate yourself, understand about your money, learn how RSP works, how all the financial concepts works, implement in your own life. When you're talking about financial literacy, Venu, I was thinking about it. I've been teaching about adults a lot, right? Big
Yeah.
people a lot. I do a lot of speaking, a lot of trainings and all. But I kind of realize the problem is not starting there. The problem is from a kid's childhood, I would say. Then I started fixing the problem there. I started teaching kids somewhere 6 onwards. I call them about basic concepts like needs and wants. I teach them the basic concepts about assets and liabilities. I started teaching kids these days. I go to schools, I go to different associations, different areas. I started teaching kids. I tell them, hey, learn this. Because I believe it's easy to teach kids than adults. Because if I fix the problem there, then it's super easy to handle the big people.
Yeah, and one thing, I don't know about education system these days, but during my childhood, in my school days and the college, and I asked all my friends and classmates and all that college mates, um, nobody ever got the financial literacy in the school system. They teach you, all different subjects, everything. They grind you. Study hard to for what? To get a good job and to make a lot of money. But nobody teaches how to manage that money. So you're
That's
trying to
right.
fix that problem from
That's right.
the
That's
early
right.
stages.
Exactly. I personally think that this subject has to be integrated with the education system.
I totally agree because I never I never learned about money during the school system.
Correct. Like I personally think when you hear our education system should involve more on how to start a business, you know, rather than being a good employee. Because our education system is so good to produce an employee. But our education system is not focused to teach a child how to be an entrepreneur. You probably have remember we put together an event few months back about a lemonade stand. The
Yes.
whole thing was about we were giving an opportunity to be a child to be an entrepreneur for a day, because I want them to feel that ownership. Like, see, this is how I look at the business. The question which you asked, I look at this. See, being an employee, I see themselves as a consumer, and being an entrepreneur, I see them as a contributor. Like, there is a huge difference between both, because we need more contributors in today's world. We need more leaders. We have enough followers, but we need more leaders to step up, because that's why people do not have any idea what to do, because people are like panicked at the moment. They're just following different places and just copy pasting their lifestyle, losing money, work for money. The problem here, nobody is able to save money or grow money or able to attain their financial freedom, because most people believe move to Canada, get a job, get a home, get a car, pay the bills, live, retire, and then that's it. It's a kind of crazy situation, I would tell you, Venu, here, because in recent times when the interest rates went up, lot of families were struggling to make the mortgage payment. Thank God the rates went down. Like, I would say, some people, I was telling them, hey, did you check your mortgage statement? And some mortgage statement that I've seen, it's more than the opening balance
Of that year.
of 30 years. It's like they paid more money in interest, and they
And it's
haven't
not
paid.
enough.
That's not enough. Yeah, that's not enough. And then the 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 funny part is, the person who took the mortgage, he has no idea. He didn't even look at his credit card, his mortgage statement. And the another scenario, I was talking to a client, and he has this $25,000 credit card balance in his statement, and his credit card interest rate was about 20% each, and he's making about $500 to $600 monthly contribution payment. And I was talking to him. I said, hey, you're contributing about $500 to $600, and your interest rate is about 20% each, and how long you think that you can pay this credit cards pay off? Then he said he'll be paying off in 5 years. I said, show me your statement. Then he showed his statement to
And I
me.
know the numbers too. So,
When we went to the second page, it was saying about it take him about 207 years to pay his credit card balance off. Man, that was like crazy. I mean, I tell people, hey, read your statements. The another funny part here when it comes to financial literacy, people do not know how to read their own paychecks. People do not know how to read their paycheck. They only know how much hourly I get and how much is my net income.
that's it.
That's it.
And the middle lines, I mean, it's already taken and people are used to it.
People are used to it, and people are not even reading it, or people are not even trying to understand where that money is going. And they're just like kind of like doing a charity, especially like healthcare professionals. And one of that profession that I have seen, they don't really care about those deductions at all, and they get the most deductions, I
And
would say.
all the care, like everybody, what everybody cares is take home.
Correct. And some of the health professionals like nurses and all, when I talk to them, they don't even have a clue about where their pension funds are. Some of the nurses, I'm like, hey, you worked in this province, right? You should have this funds. They're like, seriously, do I have those pension? So then they make the call, they figure it out. Hey, I got this, I got this. I'm like, come on, man. That's, you in Canada, you work super hard to make money, and you have no idea where your money is. And that is not a great situation to look at. I think financial literacy is a subject where right now I would say we should like stay focused, we should like give so much of importance right now, and as many professionals as possible, we should guide them to this industry so that we can help the maximum number of people.
And entrepreneurship. So two things you said, that should teach kids entrepreneurship and financial literacy.
Exactly. Exactly. Because as I said, we need entrepreneurs more because this industry needs leaders. This
And
industry
even
need
in general, it see top 10% of the people um, hold 90% of the wealth,
exactly.
and 10% of the wealth is between 90% of the world population.
Correct.
And yeah, and the theme of this podcast is top 1%. And I know you are in top 1%, your income and all that. um, so I know it changes your life big time when you know how money works for you. And I totally understand.
Exactly. See, you know what? When I wanted to add one more thing when it comes to entrepreneurship, Venu, like when you think about it, you probably have seen a lot of fans association and stuff like that for sports, people, and then movie stars and all. They got a lot of fans association, right?
Big time back home.
Yeah, because they got like a glimsy lifestyle. Everybody look at them, all that, correct? But if you look at the number of millionaires around the world, they are very small. Like if I say athletics, probably they are like 2 or 3%. That's it. Movie
Not
stars,
even that.
not even that, not even that. The 75 to 80% of the millionaires out there in today's world, they're entrepreneurs,
Business owners
business owners.
in one thing or the other thing.
Yeah, yeah, they're just
Business.
into, and most of them, millionaires are from distribution industry. Like in top of the top, if you look at the top 1%, the distribution, like you think about anything, like they all have a system in place.
Like distribution in the sense Airbnb
Yeah, you look at
or
Airbnb, you look at Uber,
Amazon.
Amazon, you look at Microsoft, you look at Tesla. All these companies are trying to establish a system. Like McDonald's, are bigger franchises. They're growing super fast because they got system in place. Now, if your business do not have a system, means you're just running a self-employment.
Yeah, I mean the actual business is going global,
Exactly.
not serving, the population of that particular neighborhood or the city. That's a self-employment.
Exactly. Like people think opening up a business or registering an LLC, it doesn't mean that you are owning a business. A lot of people think I have a corporation, I'm a business owner. And if you are the only employee in your business, and you think that's a business, that's not a business. That's a self-employment. And if your business is not running when you are not there, that's not a business. That's a self-employment.
So business is something which runs in your absence.
Exactly. Business is something. You need to see here one most important thing here, Venu. We need to watch the income types. Income types. Because if your income is salary, which is you know, or if your income is commission, or if your income is margin, that means your income is completely depending on your skill and hours. Completely depending on that. And you are not there, that income is not there. But at the same time, if your income is royalty, and if your income is dividend, if your income is capital gain, means even if you are not there, your income is still coming out.
And majority people never heard, the income types.
Exactly. Exactly. People like, I mean, out
Majority
there.
people out there know only one or two types of incomes.
That's right. Like you see, when you think about this royalty, dividend, and capital gain, which your presence or your skill is not required because these incomes are produced with a system. If you want to be financially free, if you want to build net worth or wealth for generations to come, you need to focus what type of income that you're actually making out of any businesses. If your business is not able to earn royalty or dividend or capital gain, that means you're on a self-employment side.
And this royalty driven capital gain, you can build it in any business. The only thing is with capital or without capital.
Exactly.
And I know that you are in the business where somebody can build these three incomes without capital.
That's right. That's why we are in financial services. Now, financial industry is one of those industry where you can build capital gain, you can build royalty, you can build dividend, you can build commission, you can build margin, but the only thing that you don't make is salary. You don't make hourly wage here, but you can make all the other five types of
All
income.
the other five types of income.
Exactly, which is not depending on you.
And top 1% of the people generally fall under these kind of categories.
Exactly. Like if you think about, if you let's say if you go back to this top 1% people, most of them owns a distribution business. Distribution business. Now we need to go back and pay more attention to that particular area because distribution business which either pays or generate royalty, you know, and it gives you dividend and it generates capital gain over the period of time. So that's the best part with distribution industry. Now look at Amazon, look at Uber, look at Airbnb. All these companies are just on that. They're just a distribution business.
And how many outlets you have? I think it's about 14, which I remember, but how many you have and what is your vision for how many outlets you want to build?
So in next couple of years, our vision to build 100 outlets in financial services. So we are on it to build more locations across North America. And we
So
currently
North
hold about
America is US and Canada.
US and Canada both combined.
That's what your vision is.
Yes, that's what my vision is. Now, you see, right now we have about 14 outlets, physical and virtual locations, and we are on top of it. We are on an expansion mode at the moment, and we are holding a lot of events at this time because you see, to get the education, where you need to go, mostly school and college, right?
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to financial literacy, we do the exact same thing. We host a lot of classes, lot of trainings, lot of events so that people come in, and then we are empowering them, we are educating them about the importance of financial educations, the opportunity to build locations and financial services. This is what we are actually doing out there.
So 100 locations in next 2 years.
That's right.
In how many out of 100 locations? Um, and I know that you follow it, you know, your wealth and all that, you fall under that top 1% category. But out of that 100 locations, how many millionaires you gonna produce in
See,
next 2 years?
like if you build a locations in financial services, mostly that one locations has a potential to make about $250,000 royalty dividend income. That is the income potential in financial services actually. So if I talk about that, out of 100 we will have about 40 millionaires comes out of it. And out of this 100 locations we want to hold about 1000 licensed professionals in those 40 locations, in those 100 locations. That is our goal.
And distributing the financial
And
services
distributing the financial services.
out
Like,
through this 100 outlets.
exactly. You remember I was talking to you about owning a franchisee of a bank?
Yes. So
Like,
you have then in next 2 years you will be having 100 locations of banks, I would say.
yeah, you can put it that way. 100 locations, 100 distribution outlet of financial services. This is what we are building over the period of time.
And helping majority of the people.
Exactly. So what we are bringing, see, the current industry already has a transactional approach. We are converting that into an educational approach, and we are being more personalized. We are educating people, we are empowering people. See, the traditional industry is all about serving products, you know and we are all about teaching about how money works, because products are secondary. See, in health professions we says, anybody can go buy medications, but if the patient doesn't know what medication to buy for the which his sickness, he won't be able to choose the right one. So similarly in financial services, first we need to identify
The
the problem, and based on the problem you need to suggest the
solution,
solutions.
prescription.
Exactly. So when it comes to financial services, works the exact way. We sit down with the family, we identify their need, and then we assess their need, and then we recommend solutions. So we don't sell products, because selling products is already happening. We don't need to be there to sell
It's
products
already
because
sold.
it's already sold. Everybody has mortgages, everybody has investments, everybody has insurances in place already.
And the missing part is education, and then you are fixing that.
Exactly. The missing part is education, because people are just taking loans and people are just throwing money, investing money. They have no clue about what is actually happening. So we sit down and we educate those families how to make money, how to save money, how to put together, how to build generational wealth, how they can do income replacement, income protection. These are the philosophies that we are helping and we are teaching people.
So, it's great talking to you. Thank you for your time. And I know that you have changed a lot of families out there, their financial future. And I know a lot of families that are way better in shape in terms of their finances before and after they met you. And I wish, you build not 100, you build 1,000 locations in the coming future. Um, but again, I'll bring you again into my podcast. We'll discuss more. And, one thing I like when you speak, I always keep listening, right? And you're so good at elevating the mindset and all that. But I'll definitely bring you back in the near future. But I would wish you all the best and build more locations out there. Um, yeah. With that, I'll see you.
And thank you, Venu, for inviting me on your show, and thank you for giving me that opportunity. Thank you.